Hello, hi, welcome. Sunday night, the Sunday night vlog. Now, it's the end of the week again. It's beer o'clock. This week we have Piss Week Sauce. It's a session IPA, a mid-strength IPA without compromise, full-bodied and bursting with hoppy goodness. That's my lens there. I'm looking at the lens, not at my stupid face. It's 3.5%, so I certainly might need another beer after this. It's been the end of the week and all that sort of stuff. Now, see if I can pour this without doing a monster head. There we go, into the pint glass. It goes, it's very pale. Look at that, it's clear. It's almost like a generic beer. And the Source Brewery, where was it? It's in Marrickville. Marrickville in Sydney, there's a chain of, there's a brewery crawl you can do. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's definitely, it's got the IPA aroma going and flavour, but it's very sweet. It's very mild in flavour. But this would be a really good like summer afternoon beer. Don't want to get too legless sort of beer. Yeah. So the idea is you go and do the brewery tour and collect the beers as you go. So you can come home with a case of mixed beer. Some come in pints, some standard drink containers. Now we're also having a bit of a vape here. Hopefully my battery's okay. I've got the Tesla Invader 3. It sounds like a dildo, doesn't it? Invader 3. Tesla. So, and I've got the Bogan RDA on there. It's a good setup. Snap, crackle and pop. And I'm dripping Fangirl. And that is from the steamery, I think. No, maybe it's not from the steamery. No, it's not from the steamery. I can't remember where it's from. They haven't got they didn't even put the name on it. I can't read it. I know it was a special edition. It's pretty like a super sweet menthol. What I find with some of these menthols, as long as they're super sweet, they're okay, but they're really good to add to other things that maybe aren't as sweet or need to boost the flavour. So I have one called Cotton Candy, and it's kind of pretty bland, but if you throw another flavour in with it, it really they really blend together well. So this one is sort of good for that, but I don't mind it on its own either. Now, it's been a trying couple of weeks. I've had no home internet for 2 weeks. I've told 2 internet companies to fuck off because their service is just rubbish, just absolute rubbish. So that led to other problems in that I used up all my phone data. I had to get a new data plan. I've lost my iMovie app off the phone and can't download it until I hook it up to internet. It won't do it on the mobile service. So we may do this in this video out raw completely as it is. I'm back doing it on my iPhone because I think my camera file was far too big to upload. I uploaded one this week, unedited, as a special edition during the week because we've had an election, and it took forever to upload that. So that could be the file on my camera. Might be too big. So I'm going to go to the iPhone file, and hopefully that might be a bit smaller and might upload a bit quicker. And we've had, like I did my special New South Wales election edition this week called the Grumpy Report, and I think that's what I might call everything for now on, the Grumpy Report. So there was so much messing around that I really didn't get it uploaded until it was probably too late anyway. So we had the election. It went as I thought it would. Stupid cushions, fuck off. It went as I thought it would. It's fairly predictable. The elections are fairly predictable in Australia, mainly because we've got the two-party system and people treat it as if they're supporting their team, and then and they still talk about the good old days when this party supported this type of economy, and my party supported the businessman, and then my party supports the working man, and it's all horseshit because they're the same party, right? They don't really care who's in power. It's just a game they play in front of the television. So I went along and voted, and you can see why there's such a problem. When there are a lot of people who the only time they actually consciously think about what they're voting is when they walk in the polling booth. So they walk in they've collected two handfuls of pamphlets from the different parties who stand at the gate spruiking. And they walk in, and it's as if they've never voted before in their life. They may not have, but they're totally confused. They don't know what they're doing. And then they get actually decide, well, I can't do anything with these two handfuls of paper, so that has to go in the bin. Then they have to be led to a table to sign their name off. They get their voting forms. The first form is a little chit. The main form is about 1.5 meters long, and it has every candidate on it. And the options on that form are to vote for one party or individual candidates. And it's so big that you're in a polling booth that's only as big as your shoulders, and you've got this huge big piece of paper. It's pretty outrageous when you think about it. I think we should be doing fingerprints myself, in blood maybe. So yeah, you can watch the people who I don't really know how many people actually walk into the polling booth with absolutely no knowledge. Certainly there was a few when I went, and one lady she was walking around asking people what to do. I had to take her over to an official because it's sort of not, it's not kosher if you're asking someone how you get to help you to vote. So that was the voting day. I still don't have any internet. So I've gone onto my mobile phone. I've tried to put this flag up to try and deflect some of the light off this wall, which I think was making everything look really yellow. Don't know. My other studio setup, the light was good. It looked really good. Now there's light in this room is crap. I'm gonna have to get another light. It'll have to wait. So I hope your vaping is going okay. Mine's doing all right. I'm enjoying this bit. Now, I had an incident in the car where I was dripping while I was driving, right? Which is probably a big no-no. So, you know, I'm doing this while I'm driving. And the lid came off the container of liquid. And it was a big bottle, like this size, big, nearly full, and it emptied itself all over my hands, the steering wheel, into my lap and stuff, all my clothes, that's fine. Managed to get on the leather. My hands were so slippery I couldn't turn the steering wheel. Luckily it's late at night, there was no traffic around, I slowly just drifted onto the curb and had to clean up enough so that I could drive home. So there's a tip for you. I think the nozzle on the end of the bottle was far too small for the viscosity of the oil. It's not bad for menthol. Oh, let's do the old beer and vape. It's okay. The issue with menthol is, as you can imagine, that when you it chills out your throat, and then you drink a cold beer and that chills it out again. So this video you're gonna have to put up with all. I'm not gonna edit it at all. I'm just gonna. It's 12 minutes already. I'm just going to try and upload it as it is. It's just I've spent too much time. So welcome to the Grumpy Report. Now, during this week we had International Happiness Day, and what came out of that was a report about the Chinese who pay for praise. So I'm assuming they log on to a website and people give them compliments or praise at a cost. And the report was, you know, kind of amusing, positive, wasn't much negative about it. I suppose really, you know, it's fairly harmless, innocuous sort of setup, but it's pretty sad really when not only you're paying for praise, but are you believing the comments? When you give someone $5, here's $5, can you call me a good bloke? So, it's a shorter version tonight. Here's because I'm a bit over what happened during the week. So have a good week, everyone. I don't think there's anything else I need to bring up. If I'll think about something, I'll let you know. I'll have to talk to you later.